Now at 6, details about a proposed amendment in Kansas which could shift the balance of power between legislators and the governor. Plus, we're going to hear from the Pittsburgh Salvation Army about their Christmas signups, and Missouri Southern Volleyball prepares for the upcoming MIAA tournament.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Kansas voters will decide tomorrow whether to change the balance of power between the executive and legislative branches of government. This is KOAM News at 6. I'm Dow Quick. KOAM's Shagun Bamadela has more about the state constitutional amendment on the ballot.
If passed, Constitutional Amendment 1 would give Kansas legislators the authority to undo or overturn regulations or rules they do not deem fitting. This could include mandates by the Kansas governor.
The legislature has sort of gone on record as saying what they see as the pros of this, and that is efficiency. If they believe that a regulation is not a very good one, instead of having to go through the regular process of passing a bill and having the governor sign it, they can just leapfrog the governor and just simply undo something that that's happened in the executive branch.
With any new legislation, there are always people who support and oppose it. That's why I'm at downtown Pittsburgh today, asking people what they feel about Constitution Amendment 1.
It's based on cutting down on big government and more red tape, more bureaucratic. It's cutting down on that, and I'm for that.
But I feel like if they're just trying to balance the power, depending on which one's in office of which office, it doesn't matter.
Somewhere along the way you have to bring logic into it. And if you're just doing it out of spite, just because it's one party against another, then that's not the way it should be.
A state representative says the amendment gives legislature an enormous amount of power.
It gives the legislature a great deal more power in Kansas over the governor. And it doesn't matter whether it's Derek Schmidt, who's the governor after the election, or Laura Kelly. This constitutional amendment would dramatically increase the power of the legislature, revoke rules and regulations based upon a simple vote of 50% plus 1 of the legislature.
In Pittsburgh, Shagun Bamadela, KOAM News.
Polls open tomorrow at 7 a.m. in Kansas, Missouri, and in Oklahoma. Be sure to download the KOAM News app for all your election needs. You can also go to our website for election information at koamnewsnow.com/elections. That website is going to include resources for all of the 4 state areas, such as polling places, deadlines, dates, and you can even check to see if you're registered to vote. Once again, koamnewsnow.com/elections. Some local emergency services in Missouri might get some financial help. Missouri's Department of Public Safety announced today it's making up to $20,000 in grants available for local law enforcement, fire services, and EMS agencies. A total of $10 million will go to each public safety discipline. Departments will have to apply by December 5th. The Oklahoma Highway Patrol today released more information regarding a car drowning incident which claimed the life of a Delaware County, Oklahoma man and a 6-year-old girl. They say the drowning happened on Friday, a little more than 5 miles west of Stillwell, Oklahoma, in Adair County. They say the driver was trying to cross a low-water bridge with water flowing over the surface when that vehicle was swept into the water. 43-year-old Tylen Turman of Jay and the 6-year-old girl were both pronounced dead at the scene. There were 2 other juveniles in the car who were treated and released. Chris Warner joins us now with a first look at the weather.
Yeah, we've been watching the clouds roll into the area through the morning and early afternoon hours, giving the majority of us some mostly cloudy skies, and that is associated with some of these showers and even a few thunderstorms well to our south for now. But you can see the direction they're moving, and by tomorrow, we're going to start to see some shower and thunderstorm activity. Going through tonight and into tomorrow morning, we're going to drop back down to a low of 54. Mostly cloudy skies will persist through the evening. And as we look ahead for the week that's coming up, we've got some showers again on Tuesday we'll talk about. mild temperatures for the time being. Maybe some thunderstorms by Thursday, and following that, a very big weekend cool down. We're going to talk how cold it's going to get and take a look at that extended forecast here in just a few minutes.
See you soon. Crawford County families can get some help with purchasing Christmas gifts for children. The Salvation Army in Pittsburgh is currently taking Christmas sign-ups for the whole county. KOAM's Yana Hautala spoke to the Pittsburgh Salvation Army about those sign-ups.
Shopping for the holidays can be overwhelming, especially for families on a tight budget. And that's when the Pittsburgh Salvation Army steps in. Sign-ups for Christmas baskets are underway now.
Bring in proof of residence in Crawford County, your income, and identification for every family member.
Major Patricia Johnson wants to remind families they need to act quickly and do not wait until December because the sign-ups end soon. She says gathering toys for over 350 families in the county takes time. Families are also asked to bring in a wish list for each child. Johnson says the group will try really hard to fill that list.
Bicycles, I think we're having those again this year. And we have a grant that was given to us to provide bicycle helmets. So every person who receives a bicycle will also have a helmet that goes with it.
Once a family has signed up, they will get a slip telling them when they can come in and pick up their Christmas basket.
They come in outside the building here, they pull up and it's delivered out to their car and then they drive off.
The Salvation Army partners with local Ron's Supermarket to provide an additional gift card for the grocery store.
Some people save that and buy their things that they need for the Christmas dinner. And other people, I noticed, bought something special that means something special to their families. With the rising cost of food, it's difficult for them to be able to buy these things that they like to have for their Christmas celebration.
A celebration that comes a little easier with the help of the Salvation Army. Yana Hautala, KOAM News.
Salvation Army will take applications from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. through this coming Friday. Baskets will be distributed starting in the middle of December. Joplin's sign-ups are already closed, and they're going to be distributing their gifts on December 21st. Coming up, the city of Harrison, Arkansas says farewell to a historic football field. And later we'll hear from Pitt State on their big win over the weekend, clinching the outright MIAA title. A historic football field in Harrison, Arkansas has seen its final farewell. Noah Tucker reports about the past and future of Goblin Stadium.
Goblin Stadium, longtime home of the Harrison football program until the late 2000s.
When we moved here in 1982, we decided that we were going to make this the place to be. It already was. It's right down here in the middle of town. You come through town, there was no doubt that there was a football game because signs in the window, signs on the marquees, everybody knew the Goblins were playing.
Located along Crooked Creek in the middle of downtown, some believed the water produced magic that graced both the field and the players on it.
From the blood, sweat, and tears of goblins out here on this field over the years, when rains would come, it would wash that magical concoction into that creek, would form with the waters of Crooked Creek, and thus form the magic of Crooked Creek. And we'd call on that magic late in ball games.
Talk about home field advantage, and if you don't believe it, just look at the program's record under Coach Tommy Tice when this was their home turf.
Visiting teams, they knew when they came in they were going to be playing on the creek, and that is a special place. It was a hard place to come in and win a ball game.
And not only did that magic produce wins, but also legends. Burlsworth is a sacred name in the city of Harrison because the former Goblin Brandon Burlsworth went on to be an All-American Razorback before his tragic death in a car accident. And it was on this hallowed ground that his journey to stardom began.
Brandon, this is where he started playing 7th grade football, first year football, 7th grade football. Wasn't very good, but you know, he learned and grew, and he learned a lot, quite a journey, and it all started, you know, right here on this very field. So
the field hasn't truly held a game in quite some time. More recently used for junior high practices, the final one this past Thursday. The facility will soon make way for new construction. What for, you may ask? A new community center. Hopes it will inspire the next generation of Goblins.
But this is it. And it all wraps up. And I come down here sometimes, I still walk across this old field or sit in those old bleachers and think about times past and things like that, and think about times to come.
But like the wins and the legends, the field
and its magic will never be forgotten.
Once this location looks totally different, that we'll have this memorialized, whether that be with a plaque or something along those lines. This location always needs to be remembered.
Chris Warner is going to be right back with a full look at the weather forecast. And a little bit later, we're going to hear from Missouri Southern Volleyball as they look ahead to the MIAA tournament.
We've had a pretty mild day across the area. Temperatures about where they should be, believe it or not, for this time of year. But you might want to enjoy this mild weather while we have it, because we have changes in the forecast. And over the last 36 hours, our lows early Sunday were close to where we should be for this time of year. A bit warm, but close. We got pretty warm on Sunday, 73 degrees. And we cooled back down into the lower 50s overnight, and we made it to about the mid 60s today, which is exactly where we were hoping to be. And again, that's about where we should be. As we head through the rest of the evening, we'll be 58 by 7, 54 by midnight and 6 a.m. And that is our overnight low. The clouds kind of acting as a blanket, keeping temperatures pretty decent, but above where they should be for this time of year. The mostly cloudy skies started building in this morning, and they are just going to hang on for the rest of today and into tonight. And they are associated with this little system down here, bringing some showers and thunderstorms well to our south, but you can see the direction of movement on this, and that's because we will eventually get in on some of this shower activity as we head into tomorrow. Right now, though, we're also watching this. This is our next storm system that'll be here on Thursday out in the Pacific Northwest, making its way our direction, and it's going to really shake up things here in our forecast. All right, we look at the short term on the future track here, heading into tomorrow morning. A few scattered showers possible over tonight in southeast Kansas. Otherwise, as you can see, by tomorrow morning around 6, we start to see some scattered showers and thunderstorms. We're not anticipating any strong or severe storms, but just some good rain, maybe some rumbles of thunder. By 9 a.m., a lot more of us getting in on a bit more widespread shower and thunderstorm activity. And by noon, it starts to lift on off to the northeast, trailing back into southeast Kansas. But by the time we get into the early evening tomorrow, it is out of here. In fact, it leaves us warmer and with some partly cloudy skies in some cases. So as we go through tomorrow, we got the showers to start your day, maybe a rumble of thunder through the noon hour, 55 at 7, 64 by noon, 68 by 5, and that's when it'll clear out. We're left with some partly to mostly cloudy skies, looking for a high of right around 70. We take a look at the rainfall chances over the next 36 hours, and you can see where we have the slight chances tonight, and our best chances right there, just below that 60% line by about 9 o'clock tomorrow, and then they'll taper back off. Now, look further down the road. This is where our next system comes in from the northwest, 5:30 Thursday. This is a pretty potent system here. In fact, you can see off to our northwest, some snow on this map. That won't be our case, but you can see it's got a lot with it and some cold air behind it. Showers and thunderstorms on Thursday. It rolls on out of here, and after it does so, boy, do the temperatures change, and they change in a big way, which we can see now on the 7-day forecast. So we'll be 70 tomorrow, 78 on Wednesday, and partly cloudy, so enjoy that, because take a look here. Showers and thunderstorms Thursday, 75. Temperatures plummet to an overnight low of 36, and then we don't make it out of the 40s through the weekend and into the start of next week. Those overnight lows drop back into the lower to mid-20s. And we see some additional rain chances as we head into Monday of next week.
Have to get out the heavy coats by Saturday. Still ahead, Pitt State won the program's 13th conference championship on Saturday. We're going to hear from the team. And Missouri Southern Volleyball prepares for the MIAA tournament. Danny Terzer has that and more up next.
Missouri Southern Volleyball finished the regular season with a 13-16 record. Now they turn their attention to the MIAA tournament. Southern has a tough first game facing 10th-ranked Northwest in the quarterfinals on Thursday, but the Lions have proved they can beat some of the top teams in the country. They have 4 wins over ranked opponents this season.
Because we've taken some wins against some ranked opponents, our seeding isn't against us, if you will. Like, we don't feel like we're an 8th seed. We feel like we can compete with anyone. They're a really tough serving team, so I think we have to be prepared to be in system on our side of the net. We're excited to go compete. We're excited to have earned our way in and to see if we can get another upset.
Kansas City rallied to beat Tennessee 2017 in overtime on Sunday. The Chiefs are now 6-2. Patrick Mahomes finished with 446 passing yards on 68 attempts, but it was his run game that helped spark a comeback. Down by 8 late in the fourth, Mahomes scrambled for 20 yards on 3rd and 17. Then he ran in for a 14-yard touchdown and used his legs again to tie the game with a 2-point conversion. Here he is on the importance of finding different ways to win.
It was a battle. I already texted Bobby, Struve, my trainer, said I'm not coming in tomorrow. So no, it's a battle. Going into this game against this team, it's always going to be a battle. It's going to be a fight. And I'm proud of the way our guys responded and made it happen there in that second half. These are games you're going to need if you want to try to win the Super Bowl. Obviously, we want to be that high flying, scoring every time we're out there on the field. But I think with the schedule that we've played, we've won all different type of ways against a lot of great football teams. So we show that we can do it in different ways, but we got to keep it going. We got to keep building.
Pitt State returns from Washburn with a big win and the outright MIAA title. The 37-23 victory is the Gorillas' first win over the Ichabods since 2016. Each week, different guys have stepped up for Pitt State. And on Saturday, it was Mark Whelan's turn to make a big impact. Whelan led the Gorillas with 72 receiving yards and scored his first touchdown of the season.
He hasn't been able to actually show everyone outside of Pittsburgh State football what he's about, but today, I'm sure he put his name back on the map. That man he made some crazy plays, to say the least. He's that dude for sure. We have so many guys here that can make plays from the bottom up. I feel like our depth is part of what has gotten us here to this point, and as long as guys keep stepping up and doing what they can do, sky's the limit.
So Pitt State is now 1 win away from an undefeated regular season. They'll host Fort Hays State this Saturday in the finale.
Regardless of what happens in this final game, boy, it has been a special season, and we hope special postseason to come.
Yep, more football to play.
We'll be right back. Take some time now to honor a member of the Armed Forces. Justin Leeper joined the U.S. Air Force in 2009. His hometown, Carthage, Missouri. And we are proud to salute Airman First Class Justin Leeper, a 4-state hero. You can learn about lots of other heroes from all across this area, thousands of them in our database. You can also submit a hero of your own anytime. We have Veterans Day coming up this week. Just go to our website, click on the link, KOAMnewsnow.com. Here's a look at what's coming up on KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. The Girard, Kansas City Council meets today. We're going to look at how the city's fire department could be changing. Plus, we'll see how House and Senate candidates across the country are making a final push ahead of tomorrow's midterm elections. And health experts say flu season is off to an early start with more cases than usual. Those stories, a lot more, of course. It's coming up tonight. KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. A rescued beagle mom and some of her puppies out of Virginia have passed their medical inspections and are up for adoption. The beagles are some of the thousands removed from a breeding and testing facility. Dogs were moved to organizations all across the country, including 8 making their way to the Southeast Kansas Humane Society. 4 adults and 4 puppies were transported. 4 are currently up for adoption, and here they are: Daisy, Lavender, Lily, and Rose. You can download the KOAM News Now app to find out how to adopt one of those beagles. Wow. Final sports note.
Yeah, those are pretty cute. That's tempting. Kansas basketball is in action tonight. They'll host Omaha, so we'll have those details at 10.
See you at 10. Let's make it a great evening.
Salon service is provided by the